Hello and welcome everyone to another DC Universe Online live stream. My name is Meps. I'm your community manager. This is the Nerd of Prey.
Without a trident this time.
Without a trident this time. Your creative director. And joining us for the first time, except it's kind of the second time, we have Ben, our art director.
You should, yeah.
Who now has the
that's
trident.
where it went. See,
I now have the trident.
This is a very important story beat, so we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yes, so thank you for joining us today again. We are here to show you Atlantis, the next episode coming out in November. And actually, you should know that it is Atlantis. It is a full, large-scale episode, CR 241 plus for the endgame part, and level 10 plus for the event parts, kind of just like we've been doing. And we're going to launch November 8th, and we're going to be on the PC test server tomorrow for you guys to get in and playing and testing and help us make it as perfect as it can be. So we're just going to jump right in and go to the Nerd of Prey. We've been having a few Atlantean episodes and content going all the way back to Starro.
A few?
Right?
I wouldn't say we've had a few, but we had a major event that we did turn into an episode.
Yes.
And add on a bunch of cool
And
stuff.
we added on the deluge part.
The deluge.
Deluge?
Yeah. It's okay. Everybody says it different.
I don't know how to say it.
Deluge is my favorite. Do you want to
yes.
give a quick summary on that?
Yeah, just bring us really quickly up to date. What's going on?
And also let me know if my mic moved. So let me know if it's too low in chat. So Deluge is where we discovered that the person behind all of this stuff was Starro, and the Atlanteans was Coram Wrath, usurper and upriser from the Ninth Tribe, the lower levels of the working class people of Atlantis, and he's the one who got people to start sending Starros everywhere, and he also attacked Spindrift Station with Black Manta, coincidentally attacking at the same time. And then he dropped off that cool water guy and said peace, and he left Spindrift in ruins. And we've kind of been waiting to see what happens next.
Okay, so this is what happens next, right?
This is what happens
so I don't know, do you want to jump in and show stuff while you talk, or do you want to? We should probably do that.
Can you boost me?
Yeah, are you not?
Yeah, I'm still hearing people.
Oh, that was Ben.
Not.
There.
Okay, we'll try that.
Maybe you're louder now. Okay, so we're just going to jump in to the game while you explain what brings us to Atlantis. Okay?
Okay.
You mean dive in?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, you missed.
I said that for this whole stream.
You're like,
so it's okay.
I'm tired of diving in. So story-wise, players are contacted by the House of Atlan, Mara, Ocean Master, and Arthur, Aquaman, and they basically have been summoned to the royal palace and would like you to come with them because of your friendship or working relationship, depends on on your own personal relationship with them, to go with them and to answer the call of the Royal Council, because they have very important information for everyone involved with the Spindrift Station incident. And again, the House of Atlan, which consists of all three of them, because they're all related in some way, whether by marriage or by blood, consider us to be their allies at this point. It was fun in Deluge kind of building that relationship with them, and now we've earned that right to be at their side.
And so they've invited us here.
They have.
Ben, what are we looking at?
You're looking at the exterior of Atlantis. So this is the big Atlantis city map that we built. This is one section of it, the section that we allow you to fly around and run around and play inside of. Well, I don't want to give away story beats, but there's reasons why you're only in this sort of district of Atlantis. And it's one of the biggest maps that we've done post-launch. It's the biggest one since the Sons of Trigon Gotham map that we did. So,
yeah, that was my guess. It's about that size, and also the scope of it. There's so many nooks and crannies, and so much play space. Like everywhere that we're traveling, I believe you can go.
oh yes,
Yeah,
100%.
right now everywhere
I'm not cheating.
Yeah, we're flying around using special camera modes and stuff, but this is all playable space.
And it's like the verticality of it also. It's just
I wonder how you can move around up there.
Yeah, it's interesting because some people can't, or some people move differently, right? So
everyone has their own unique movement mode. Not really.
Here we go.
There it is.
We are swimming.
There are this. Oh my gosh, this was quite the endeavor. But there is no everywhere in the open world. You'll actually swim. Look at the bubbles. Those are ocean bubbles. Ocean's bubbles.
Ocean's bubbles.
I believe. Yes.
Yes, they are.
Fitting. Really
I'm really proud of the team on this one. Honestly,
This was a stretch.
I was really scared to do this, and I went to they were like, we really want to swim, and I'm like, I don't know, you guys, it's a lot of work. I can't even, so many late nights with art, engineering, and design, figuring out how to make this work, and they did it. It was a labor of love for sure, and they proved me. I don't want to say wrong, but I'll say they proved me wrong. But that's why, we have a great team, and when they really want to do something, I believe in them, and I let them give it a shot, and now we have swimming in Atlantis, and I'm really proud of them.
Even super fast swimming.
Yes, because, man, this map's so big.
You're
if you
a
didn't
superhero.
have super swim, you would be so slow. So slow.
Ben, do you want to talk about how it's a streaming map? Just for those technically conscious?
Those that are technically conscious. So we have two different types of streaming. There's interior streaming, which most everything we do these days is. And then we do have what's called distance streaming. So this is similar to the cities like Gotham, Metropolis, and Central City, where you have a large open zone and you can see things from far away. And so different pieces of the map get high detail the closer you get to them. So that's why it's distance. And so from a distance, you have what we call lower LODs. It's a simpler version of the geometry that matches color and lighting on it.
So like way far away.
Yeah. So as you fly, you might see things pop a little bit, and that's just the LOD streaming, is what we call it.
Yeah, it's very similar to the other large open world maps.
And one of the big difference between Atlantis and all those other ones is the heavy use of what we call terrain, and that what gives it the organic seabed. In here, all those other maps are city blocks, and so it's all tile chunks, so they're easy to kind of drop in and out. This use of terrain makes it feel a lot more organic inside there, and it was definitely a technical feat to get this running.
Yeah, because we didn't want it to be like a city that has water somehow flooded in it. No, that's Austin right now. Sad. It needs to feel like it's on the sea floor. That's how they do it in the comics. That's how they're doing it in the films and stuff like that. So I assume that's why you guys went that way with the organic look.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was one of our more recent hires. Anthony went, and when he got the assignment for Atlantis, he jumped in. Or dove in, and he just blocked out the city, and he had it looking really neat. And then he spent about a month making sure that it ran. So
yeah, we're like, oh my God, there's so much in this.
So it was a lot of work for him, coordinating with the client engineering team to make sure that it runs. But he really came through and made this map gorgeous.
Yeah, the detail is incredible.
We just walked by like a propaganda thing. They made those.
Yeah, we went and designed those. The graphics the text is taken right from the comics, from screens.
A little bit of a spoiler.
I guess you're right.
Pointed that out, but they're really cool.
This is the preview spoiler live stream. There will be some spoilers.
We'll
Sorry we didn't warn you ahead of time.
Well, I meant we're going to show them in a minute.
No, I know. It's your spoiler.
Yeah, that's my fault.
People are asking, how does everybody breathe underwater? How does that work?
When you first get there, I don't think we have this implemented for PC test. There's like a machine, I guess, like we were talking about using like an Atlantean console that basically, we can pop. You can't see me, but I'm using my hands like I always do.
I can bring us on camera now.
Oh, yay! Now you can see me, and I can emote. We pop up those text boxes, and we can write story bits like we did in Deluge and stuff like that. And it's going to explain that there's like a microchip kind of thing. Like, think of it as a rebreather, but it's embedded, and you think gillyweed, stuff like that, because we experimented with actually putting stuff on the characters, but it just wasn't awesome. It just didn't. You didn't look like you anymore, and you're gonna spend so much time in Atlantis swimming around for the next so many months that we want to make sure you're happy with how you look. You're welcome to add those items. We have tons of like scuba gear and stuff like that.
You can put on a helmet if it's what you want to do.
If you're like I don't do implants. Rather look like.
That's fine.
It's fine.
You can use that spindrift gear that you earned earlier this year.
Yeah, that actually would be ideal. But then get the scuba flippers from the marketplace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that would be perfect. I should have had flippers on.
Yeah, kind of disappointed right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Right. People are also asking if you can use your actual movement mode down here.
Not in the maps that we have designated for swimming.
Yeah, if you're swimming, you're just swimming.
But not every map has that. We'll go through them in a little bit. There's some like boss fights and stuff that we were like, no, this would be. Look! Oh god, I just totally ripped that eardrum open. Sorry. I get excited when I see whales. Just
whales
ask Ben. I'm like,
pretty
whales?
incredible.
Whales? Yeah, it's so beautiful. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Long story. I want to see whales in the wild someday, and I never have. So I'm just gonna settle for these whales. They're so beautiful. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, some boss fights and stuff. It just would have been irritating to be swimming, frankly. So
we're gonna jump into the instances and show you, and it's
we made the make sense.
Yeah, you still have your mechanics and stuff. So,
but there's some places where you'll get to swim, and some dry rooms as they call them.
All right. Do you want to show anything off about specific parts of this open world, Ben? Like the detail you want to draw any attention to?
So right there on the right, like that's a really nice kind of doorway, and that's where Anthony really went through and deviated away from some of the design that we had originally done, and kind of worked up some stuff on his own. And I think he really made great use out of the original Spindrift stuff we had done for Deluge, and then just kind of riffed on it to design a whole bunch of new elements and build it up. And I just think he did a fantastic job on it. There's lots of great detail in here. Oceans worked up a material for us so that we could have the caustics rolling across everything.
We learned about caustics on the last live stream. That's the little reflecty water stuff.
Yep.
You can see it on everywhere on the bridge. It's very clear.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
Awesome. Also, like the plant life for me is super cool. That really came together.
It adds the animation, the motion that it has on it, really brings it to life. We went through, people by now have noticed that if they've rerun Deluge, they've seen that we've just boosted the color on all the coral. The coral was used throughout that map, and we just went and upped it. Really made it a lot more colorful for Atlantis, and we didn't want to leave it bland in Deluge, and so I think the color really helps it all pop out.
It's more healthy here. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but they brought it back to life in Deluge as well.
Well, there's even like farmers and ranchers out here, and that's something I was going to speak to. This is something the design team worked. Which, by the way, most of this maps was built by Meow Tapes. This was hers. Everybody contributed, but she was definitely a big part of it. And her and Anthony went through and actually I'm sorry if Anthony has a cool name that I don't know, but
yeah, I apologize, Anthony.
We probably should have asked. They went through and we blocked out what they do in these areas so that they have more reason for the narrative of the stories and the quests and stuff that you're doing there, and also just so it gave him kind of an inspiration of then I'll put if this is the Brine Hulk farming area, I'll put these little pens together, and she could place them and put the content in there. So it feels much more like a place and not just the same.
And we did try and get as much life going inside of here when we were building it up. That's where you get the bubbles, you get the seaweed moving. That's why we had the schools of fish, which was a group effort getting the material to get the fish moving around, to get the whales swimming.
Crowley or Crowley is his name.
Crowley.
Oh, that's right. I'm Crowley.
Crowley.
Sorry, Crowley.
I don't think we mentioned the statues.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
And there are tons of them everywhere.
Yeah, that was one thing. And we really poured through the comics to try and get an idea of how DC handled Atlantis over the years. And there's been a lot of great artists that have worked on it. And we just pulled a lot. Crowley pulled a lot of design ideas from books. One thing that I noticed going through it was all the use of stature, and so we made sure to get a lot of different statue types, poses, which our animator had gone through, and it basically just got them into classic poses for us so that we could, pepper them throughout the maps.
Very cool.
That Greco-Roman kind of.
Yes, that kind of classical Renaissance look to them.
Except with tridents.
With so many tridents. Shall we maybe pop into the solo now?
Sure. Let's hop into the solo. So we're going to show you...
which it's a solo. There's an announcement. It's part of the in this episode, actually, you get your mission, and you need to run the solo first to unlock Atlantis.
I'm so sad. I forgot to punk Ben. Okay, pretend like it is like 20 minutes ago. This is what we took our reference from for Atlantis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were searching for reference photos.
Right?
100%. I pulled that art, a lot of that Atlantis Chronicles art.
I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Inspiration.
is more like what we took it from.
Yes.
That was going to be funny and a nice intro to Ben, but we had tech issues and I forgot.
Aw,
Very
it's okay.
sad. Okay. Now let us...
Meg liked your joke. Megzilla.
Excellent.
This is
So
worth
yeah,
it.
we've got a solo. We're going to jump into the event version. There's also versions for endgame and other things.
Yeah, so you'll run through this, and you'll do the narrative pointer mission, unlock the open world, and then you can always come back and replay it, essentially.
Yeah, the pointer is really great. I think it's going to be a nice thing for people. Actually know what they're...
Yeah, and we were introducing a bunch of new characters right off the bat, and we wanted to do that in a meaningful way instead of just like, oh, they're all standing around. That's great.
So you'll notice we're not swimming anymore. Oh, wait, just kidding. We are swimming.
This one is underwater.
This one is underwater.
Yes,
okay, I'm sorry.
and because that was a big part of the gameplay.
Right. I jumped ahead. I'm sorry.
And there they are, waiting for us.
So we're just going to start it off here.
Yeah.
Show you guys the
Hello,
beginning.
friend. Thank you for coming. There are few people besides Merc who I would trust to guard Mara.
Oh,
You forget, dear husband. I need no one's protection. Our friend here is to be recognized for acts of heroism.
I don't know if I
As
should
you
talk
say,
over it,
Mara,
but I'm going to talk over
this
it.
tribunal is shaping up to be more of a witch hunt than an awards ceremony.
Now, brother, let us hear what the council has to say. Perhaps they've finally recognized which son of Atlan is worthy to sit on the throne.
Glad to see you still have a sense of humor, brother.
What I was going to say
Yep.
was there's a lot of interaction between these three throughout the episode because I really want... For one, Ocean Master Orm is a huge part of the movie. So people are going to grow to love that guy. So I want to make sure he got a lot of face time with the rest of his family. And there's a lot of jabbing at each other. And, because they're really enemies, but right now they're united for reasons you'll see.
My opinions matter not. I live to serve the throne.
You can definitely... there's a bunch of people hanging around here waiting for the proceedings to begin. And you can actually talk to them.
Should we? Should
Why
we just
not?
go in?
There is no doubt in my mind that the decision is clear.
Uh-oh.
She didn't sound too happy.
That is not what you want to hear when you're about to walk into a room.
Is this people's first look at the new helmet for Ocean Master?
Yes,
It is.
actually.
Yes, he's been redone.
He
Good point.
got a new hat.
We updated him so that the transfer to his new 52 look is complete now because we got him his cooler, more modern. I should say his more modern helmet. There's nothing wrong with the old one.
It's fine.
It's just
It
his
was
more
fine.
modern look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helmet is sweet.
All right, let's go inside.
right.
I'm going to turn the game volume up again.
All right. Appropriate outfit, by the way.
Your devotion to the surface world has brought our nation to the brink of ruin. Orin, son of the House of Atlan. Since being crowned king, you have been delinquent in your duties to Atlantis.
Have you forgotten that I am your king?
We have not. Which is why, by the order of Poseidon, we strip you of your royal title as King of Atlantis and find you guilty of treason.
This is madness. You would leave the throne vacant at such a critical time?
Hardly, Arthur. Atlantis has chosen a true king to lead it. No longer will we allow an absentee, surface-loving half-breed to rule our proud realm. Guards, kill the traitors.
Wrath.
Sorry, you lost.
Oh, they didn't see that part.
Yeah, I
Oh,
screwed it
well.
up.
They'll see it later.
And there's a fight going on.
Yeah, stuff happens real fast. Obviously, God, sorry about Mike stuff. Coram Wrath got a new hat too.
He did.
He got some
he's King Wrath
major
now.
upgrades. He is now king of Atlantis.
You won't stop it.
If you guys have read the Rebirth Aquaman storyline, that's probably not a surprise to you because that literally happens. So what the goal for the solo is to go with the three of the House of Atlan and essentially escape with your lives. And there's a really interesting, unique mechanic. We've done stuff like this kind of, but not quite, where there's a danger that's following you. I don't want to like say any more. I'm gonna let you experience it. But it's a really interesting mechanic, and that's like that's why we left swimming in. Meow Tapes really wanted that, like, which she also did this. She did the solo. She wanted that feeling of like trying to swim
Swim away.
as fast as you can, which is kind of scary at first because you're like, I don't know how to swim.
We are not going to show you that though.
Nope, you gotta play that.
You gotta actually win this fight on your own.
Yeah, one of the hardest things about these live streams is I want to like show everything, but I also want you to experience it. So we always have to pick and choose really carefully what to just discover. You guys discover it. Because like there's, I think in the final raid, there's just this absurd, like, shocking moment that I wish I could watch the chat light up.
Don't tease them.
That's what I'm here to do. In fact, people, when you play the final raid, you should do like a reaction video because I want to see their faces when it happens.
This is a big DLC. It's like with the open world and with the raid, especially the last raid. Like this is
There's a lot of really like unique stuff we've never done before.
I should have mentioned that was the throne room.
That was the throne room.
That's that's a new asset that we built.
Yeah.
This game's this level is a lot of mixes of. We basically built riffed on what we did for Spindrift Station, and then just expanded beyond that. And so there's new spots inside of it, like the throne room is brand new. But as you saw, the corridors outside it were the same entry corridors from Spindrift, which makes sense. I mean, it's all Atlantis, so, and we just improved upon it.
Yeah, and I remember when you guys were doing that stuff, you designed it with that kind of like, what would their architecture be?
Yeah.
You know, so that it was the same for one, and also got us a little bit of a head start.
Yeah, knowing that Atlantis was coming up, it worked out really good for us to put all the effort into defining the look of Atlantis with Spindrift, and then working on it. That made it possible
to build all
pull
this
this
stuff.
off. Yeah.
There is a lot.
So you're getting 6 months of work. Think of it that way.
They're like, we don't know what that means.
We don't care.
Yeah, get back to work.
That's fine.
I'm sure at least one person has said stop talking and get back to work on Atlantis. I will. We will.
I've been making a list as I see things. Don't worry.
Nice.
I gotta fix.
Who's that?
That is
Actually, who do you want to talk to
two new
first?
characters. We've added. Oh, there he is in all his glory, King Shark. King Shark is a shark. And Aqualad, who I've wanted to get in forever. He almost got in with Titans, but it didn't work out. So we were like, well, we know where he's coming in then, Atlantis. So we get to grow the Aquaman family, as they call it. And they've kind of, in the comic books, kind of brought King Shark into Atlantis to give them more of a roster of cool, iconic characters for them to interact with. And I really, really like the story of him defending the sea-changed people, which are Atlanteans who have mutations and they look kind of like fish or crabs and stuff like that, because a lot of people look down on them. And so King Shark kind of rises up as a protector of them, kind of like a gang lord kind of thing. And that's what he's doing in our content, protecting the little people.
Who's this?
Aqualad.
Which Aqualad? I mean, it's obvious,
is
but explain for
Calder.
people. Yeah.
I'm sure this is the one everybody was expecting, what with Young Justice and all.
Yep.
And in we did use the Rebirth version of him, which changed his backstory a little bit. He's half Zebel, which is where Mara's from, and half human. And I'm not going to say who his dad is, but he's somebody important. We might have already said it in the game. I don't remember.
And just in time. Those Silent School chumps are working on some extra credit level spell casting. If I remember my lessons with Tempest correctly, these sigils of Orion on the floor will prevent us from being seen or attacked until we exit them.
Enough with the jabber-jawing, kid. Let's kick their tails.
Word up. You heard the man. Shark?
It's okay. He's a shark and he knows it.
So this is the alert.
Okay.
I'm not sure everybody caught that when queued in, but this is the alert, the 4-player. And this is a really badass room.
So they essentially, I don't want to spoil the story too much, but they need magical artifacts that they're holding here. And what this is it's the Silent School, which is essentially the magic school. A lot of people, when you think of Atlantis, you think of like this really high-tech underwater civilization, and that's entirely true. But a lot of Atlantis's like roots are in magic. Aqualad name-dropped 2 characters, Orion and Tempest, and they both have roots in this idea that there's sorcery, kind of like, in a sense, kind of like the Mascara. Like how they have like these spaceships and stuff, but they also have lots and lots of ancient magic. Yeah, they've been around a while and they've been prosperous.
Yeah, it's a healthy mix. It's a healthy mix of the ancient and the futuristic.
It's really fun in design for us to be able to use tech and magic side by side. Is it fun in art too?
Oh, it's super fun.
Or is it frustrating?
No, it's great. There's all sorts of great use.
Who did these skeletons?
Those are mine. That's
nice job.
Yeah, thanks. That was a lot of fun. There wasn't any real need for it. It was just I wanted to make a giant skeleton because I thought it would be cool inside an ancient magic place.
He's not wrong.
Yep, you're right on.
Also, I noticed there's caustics on the skeleton too.
There are. There certainly are. We're trying to keep it consistent as much as we can.
Wow.
You know, and it's a group effort. You know, things like the rugs. I can hand a panel from a comic to make Zoe and say, "Can you turn this into an actual usable thing for me?" And she turns it, knocks it out, gives me something that I could drop into the game.
Nice.
So I was going to talk about the Silent School real briefly. One of the things that happens in this story is Coram Wrath wants more and more power so he can hold the throne and, frankly, eventually take on the surface world. And to get that power, he starts looking at the magic side. Because while they embrace magic, they're like, not dark magic, though. We don't do dark magic. Not in Atlantis. That stuff is locked away. We don't touch it. It's bad. It will result in bad things. And Cormrath's like, but why not both? And so he actually starts digging into the dark magic stuff, stealing relics from families in Atlantis. That's some of the open world content that you'll do, is trying to get some of those relics back. Because he's just like, it's like he heard about how powerful the artifact system was, and he's like, I want that, give it to me. But he's trying to do it the mean way. We created a monster. But so he starts, and some of the magic users side with him, these guys do. And they're working with him to gather all of this magical energy to hold the throne, and we're gonna interrupt that.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the structure of this alert, the randomness?
Yeah, it's a very interesting one. This one was Charon.
Oh, it was Charon.
Charon, you're right.
Charon.
It's like the ocean, or not ocean. Anyway, this is his map. Thank you, the ferryman. This is his map, and it's very, very it's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain.
Jim just showed him.
Yeah, like kill these guys, and we'll go on to the next. So it's like a magic tower, and there's an inner sanctum and an outer sanctum and all that good stuff. And you're trying to get to the inner sanctum, but you have to go through.
Sanctum is home to the most powerful.
I was gonna say, who do you want them to listen to?
You can talk.
You have to go through levels, essentially, kind of like, what's that Bruce Lee movie? Anyway, you're working your way through the levels, and there's unique puzzles in it, and they're incredible puzzles you have to figure out with your team. But it's random. You don't know which one you're going to get, and sometimes you'll get these two, and sometimes you'll get these other two, so there's a lot of replayability. You won't see the same thing every time you go in, which, let me tell you how much QA appreciated trying to test this map, and they were like, well, I had this happen, but I can't get it to do it exactly the same again. But it's tricky to make, but really satisfying to play this every day and see something a little bit different. And you're like, I didn't even do that puzzle today, you know, kind of stuff. Do we want to see one real quick?
Yeah. So, how many total did you say?
There's four
total.
4 different puzzles essentially.
The other guys, King Shark and Aqualad, they're taking care of that.
Yeah, basically we just split up, and they're gonna go one way, and we're gonna go the other. And try to meet in the middle and knock out all these puzzles and stuff like that.
So there'll be a different room for each of those 4. We randomly got this one. This one have a name. No.
I think it's the I don't want to say. They like give it. I know which one it is, but I don't want to say it.
Yeah, I know what it is too. You gotta be careful.
You're gonna die if you don't put your stuff on.
I've got my helmet on.
Oh, okay.
So lots of puzzles, right?
Lots of puzzles in here.
And a lot of...
The eyes of Gemini see all. Only those who possess true mastery can blind them. You stand no chance.
That was kind of cool.
That was awesome.
That's pretty cool.
So there's a puzzle in this room. I am going to die.
I'm not going to tell people how to do stuff.
Nope, we're not going to tell you how this puzzle works or even what's going on here. We're just going to look at it for a moment and see the eyeballs.
That hurt a lot.
Yeah.
This one murdered me the other day.
Yeah.
I saw Charon smiling about that. And it was a pretty obvious thing that I missed. I was like, dang it, I get it now.
I gotta tell you that working on this is one of the funner maps I've ever worked on around here with Charon. Just all the different ideas, just throwing everything together.
Awesome.
And sorry.
I was gonna say it was a lot of effort, but it totally shows it works.
Every puzzle starts with a little camera to kind of give you a hint or help you get your bearings to understand what's important, to highlight things. And a lot of the magic stuff in this episode is inspired by the Zodiac, because Zodiac crystals are an important part of the magical history of Atlantis. You can Google that and then find out what books you want to read. Also, Charon is a huge fan of Orion. I don't know that I've ever met one other than maybe Jack. Jackster.
Well, Orion's getting name dropped these days in the flooded Earth or drowned Earth or whatever that storyline's called. That's going on in Justice League and Aquaman with the space pirates or whatever they are. It's pretty cool.
And I do want to point out, it's A-R-I-O-N, not O-R-I-O-N.
Yes. Yeah, not the new gods Orion. It's Orion.
Yeah.
Yay, schwaz.
Jackster got very angry at me when I wrote that down wrong once.
So. How embarrassing.
We should take this moment to point out that as you defeat each room, you can go to the next room by going through the teleporter on the right, or go back where you came from on the teleporter on the left.
And they're color-coded.
And they are color-coded. And when it's open, it'll be very clear because there's a giant flaming wall behind it.
A little bit of direction there.
Just a little bit.
We got some playtest feedback.
Yeah.
Definitely playtest feedback. And we wanted to keep them circular rooms, so it kind of feels like a bunch of towers, because Atlantis is all about towers. So.
All right, so that's the alert. And then you get the magic thing that you need in the tower, and you take it on your journeys to try to get back to the palace and take on Coram Wrath. There's so many cool story elements that I'm not saying because I don't want to ruin it, and it's driving me insane.
Just the highlights here today. So next up we have the raid. Also, we started late, and this live stream is going long, so thank you for joining us, and thank you for sticking with us.
It's okay. I don't have an episode that I need to get ready for tomorrow or anything.
You're fine.
Yeah, we're not still tweaking anything.
No.
Stay a little late. You'll be fine.
That's what we do. It's been a lot of late nights for Atlantis. Because we love you all.
This is an 8-player.
It's a raid, y'all.
Going into the event version.
The Crown of Thorns. If you're a comic reader, you know what that means. If you're not, we're going to teach you.
That was one of the interesting things about putting together the art for this DLC, is that the Crown of Thorns is depicted in two very different ways in the books. When it's first shown, it is, you know, actual physical thorns, and then the very next issue it's energy, and for the remainder it's energy. And so we kind of kept a little bit of both sides of that going inside it. But it was definitely fun talking to design, because half of them needed an energy wall that was there for you to not pass, and the other half needed actual physical thorns going through. So
that's the joys of artists drawing things differently in comic books.
It really truly is. It was super. It was fun. We made it work.
The alert is a good example of one that was not swimming, because it just was not a good idea to make it swimming.
Yes. And here we are swimming again.
And we're swimming again.
We're not gonna show any of the fights. We're just gonna fly through the environment here and take a look at the NPCs a little bit, although we've already seen some of them.
Obviously, we're trying to find passage under Crown of Thorns. We're trying to swim past the barrier that's preventing us from entering the palace.
Also, don't touch the jellyfish.
They hurt.
Yeah.
That's good advice in real life. Just don't touch the jellyfish.
Don't touch them.
Oh, what you wanna zoom?
We're not showing this broken camera.
Yeah.
Don't
also,
be foolish,
I don't want
Shark.
them to see the
Cormrath's reign of terror must end by any means
They already saw the
necessary.
really cool jellyfish.
Yeah.
But your king is dead, and the man
Which
that
I
killed
see
him
you
is
guys
still
did
sitting on the
actually
throne, while
change the
you
color.
and
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
Oceans was
Enough.
given the direction.
You
She asked for a little bit of direction on it, and the designer in charge went ahead and
Audio is
suggested
still
Man of
playing,
War.
by the way.
Atlantis.
Sorry.
Suggested the Portuguese Man of War, and she totally nailed it. I hadn't seen them until today when I was in here making other changes. It's funny seeing what's the version that I'm on right now versus what's actually up here and we're showing.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
It's very yes. It's quite different. Okay. We are back. The cutscene's over. We're gonna fly through just a little bit more of the level.
Because it's pretty.
Did you want to look up?
Did I want to
Did
look
we
up?
wanna look up?
Right. That's the whole point of being here, is to look up. Sorry.
Oh man. Look at the world this guy made and his team.
People never look up in the game, so of course we made the view above you amazing.
Yeah.
So you're welcome for those of you that ever look up.
Don't worry, we'll feature it. It is.
Yeah, these are incredible. This incredible canyon.
It just feels like legit.
It's kind of the extra love this DLC has gotten. I feel like this kind of thing is a good.
Yeah. It's
Not totally necessary, you know, but freaking amazing.
It's a good thing the holiday break is coming. We all could use some sleep.
Yeah.
This was really fun to work on, I'll be honest. We were able to actually bring on an extra head for a short period, and he went through, and his job was basically go through this map and put coral everywhere. And he went through and just dropped coral everywhere in the map.
Oh, he's an honorary coral mancer.
So
we have those. We have those in the game. So.
This is. You want to describe what this is?
So, narratively, this is the Crown of Thorns, and what we discover is this magical barrier that Cormrath has put around the castle actually goes even beneath it, and so we have to do insert gameplay mechanic in order to get through it.
Yeah.
I love the shimmer. It's kind of like you were saying how you wanted the energy, but also the actual thorns.
Right. It can't be just thorns. It's got to have some amount of energy to it. And the way the map is designed, you kind of you're passing back and you're going in and out of different areas. It's like you make it past the barrier, but then you got to go back out because there's no other way. And it was a lot of fun to put together.
I think people are confused on the name of the bad guy, and I'm laughing at all the names they're inventing in chat right now.
What do you mean?
Forum Raph. I'm gonna start calling him Forum Ralph.
That's pretty good, actually.
Corum Rath.
CORUM RATH. We're just gonna go through.
Yeah. So master your swimming in the open world. So when you get here.
Yes, you can learn to dodge jellyfish.
Yeah.
Again, good skills to have that translate to real life. This is
room
beautiful
too.
hall. Oh.
See outside.
I have like a little bit of a deep water phobia, so this kind of freaks me out a little
Really?
bit.
Good.
Just a little bit.
You're welcome.
It's quite deep out there. Yeah.
Notice when I play, I run right through and I don't look out the windows.
And in here,
I would not do well in Atlantis.
in here we have Merc, and I don't know if we can show this room or not. Because
It'll probably. I mean, it's not a big deal if it does. It's the outro one that I don't want to show because it reveals too much story. But yeah, it's again another beautiful room with beautiful Atlantean architecture. And another really good. I'm so like excited. Every episode we're doing more and more like gameplay development side by side with art. So we're not just like just randomly don't stand there. Like the room, you can see the sigils already built into the map, and they become important in the fight. But they're part of the environment, and it actually makes sense for things to be happening.
Yeah, there's way more that happening this time. It was super fun working with the design team so closely on these maps.
I love when the danger is actually like, oh, I see it. That's a spiky thing, and I don't want to touch it.
Yes.
People are asking for the jellyfish to be nerfed already.
All right.
You gotta give him a chance.
Oh, and this is Milbarge's map, so you can ask him.
Ask him about that. Okay, so that's what we're going to show you of the first raid. We're going to jump to the next raid now.
The big finale.
Remember, this is... oh, I just hit Watchtower. It's fine. This is our next episode coming out November 8th. And we are walking through the environments and content right now. Soon we're going to do rewards, and then we're going to have a special surprise after this live stream is technically over. In case you're just joining us. Atlantis. We're swimming.
We're swimming where there's water.
Yes.
And not just on the surface.
We're not just treading water here.
No. The last 2 years of my life have been water puns. Filled to the brim.
All right, now we're at the throne.
The throne. Because that's what it's all about. Most of the most iconic Aquaman stories are pretty much centered around the throne, the crown, who's the king. It's very much an Arthur tale.
Yes.
Arthurian.
We are not going directly. We're not going to show the beginning of this raid. We're just going to jump right into...
Do you want to not have it on the screen right now?
Well, just, yeah, just to be... I know, our secrets.
I just don't know what's going to happen.
Yep. Just to be safe, just to make sure we show what we want to show.
I can show off my awesome mermaid.
Yeah, what is that?
Slap bracelet.
Are you from the 80s?
Dude, slap bracelets were not this sweet in the... Was it the 80s?
90s? It was 90s.
It might have been the 80s. But it's my favorite. And are people in chat already saying, stop it?
Probably. They're saying it's not fair that I'm not showing whatever I'm not showing.
Oh, it's not fair.
I mean, it's true, but you'll be able to play it on the test server tomorrow.
And again, this raid starts with like, oh, dramatic plot reveal. I don't want to ruin it.
I mean, at this moment, all you're missing is picture in your mind episode 20 load screen.
Right. Yeah.
That's all we were really looking at was load screen that you've seen 100 times.
And we're not going to have visuals for this first part.
Okay, we're going to skip right past this. If you could see what I can see.
Except I broke it by zoning in hidden, so be right back.
Oh no, do we have to zone back out?
I think so.
What have you done?
I don't know.
Let's auction off my trident.
You want to auction off your trident? No.
No, I can't. I'm not allowed. But that came out of my own money because I really like having... after the cheetah thing, I'm never going back. I gotta have a prop.
You have to have a prop every live stream?
Every live stream.
Did you want your
Do you want to hold it for
a
while?
I did. Oh, he just like totally took it out of my grasp.
I was trying to make it...
Do you want... No. And it actually came silver. I don't know why. I guess maybe the one in the movie silver or something. And every artist on your team was like, why is it silver? So I was shamed into dyeing this gold last night.
Really?
I just mentioned it.
You did mention it wasn't just the art team. That's why I was like,
that's why
okay,
it's sticky.
I will stop at it is sticky. I will stop at the craft store and buy some gold paint, 2 different shades, so that it gets a nice, like, champagne and. Okay. We're almost there, I promise.
It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yay! It started.
Right after these.
And then we can show. It'll be worth it. Trust me. It's so worth it.
After this, we're going to show rewards, and then we're going to have our little surprise.
Wrap it up.
And Megzilla is going to join us for the rewards. So we're going to kick Ben out.
Get him. And I'll preface this what we're about to show you a little bit. It's amazing and
kind of banging.
Annoying. I apologize. This is something that honestly we've been working on off and on for a very long time because it is again another tremendous effort that I'm surprised our executive producer even let us do. But it took months of engineering and art and design, just months and months of working on it. Sometimes full force, sometimes on the side when we had something else we needed to be working on. But
yes.
I'm gonna wait for it to show up before I can I'll give even more detail why it was such a big deal. Such a big deal. Big, large deal. Yeah, get right up there.
You know what I mean?
It was a giant effort.
Wait, hang on, I gotta check something. Yep, okay. All right, folks. Here we go. This is...
Where's Quorum?
Right up there. Where he's supposed to be.
There, so we have some scale.
Some scale, okay.
Yeah.
Here we go, folks.
Speaking
Sorry
of
you've been staring at our faces for so long. It's totally worth it.
Speaking of sea monsters, man.
Please note Quorum size and...
Yeah, look at Quorum up in the corner there. So, it is an all-new rig. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, this is our lead character artist went through, and we had meetings talking about how we wanted to, working with design about what they wanted to see, what gameplay was hoping for, and our lead character artist went through and designed this creature, worked with our animator to get it in-game, developed the look of it. You could see how he's got that bioluminescent look about him, just bigger and better than anything we've done in a long time. Just something very different for our game.
And as far as design goes, we've had monsters, we've had machines, we've had Trigon, we've had all sorts of big, giant things, but nothing of this scale. And I think the most important takeaway is you fight the monster. He's not just smashing you every once in a while you go over and punch Quorum Wrath. You are fighting this creature. It is what you're attacking. It's what you're going to be shooting. It's what you're going to use those ballista to fire at him for reasons that I'm not going to tell you. And that was just something that honestly we didn't have the technology to do, and the team pulled together and made it possible. Because I'm with everybody else. I wish we could have fought the giant Trigon. I really, really wanted to, but it just didn't come together, and that was years ago. And ever since then, I've wanted to do a giant monster that we could fight, and here we are. And it is beautiful in that hideous, disgusting way.
Oh, yeah. And
its mechanics are incredible. I don't want to spoil the things it does, but they were all I call them stretch goals, which means here's, we have a minimum viable product. Here's what we'll launch with, but if we can, it would be amazing if the Sea Beast could do this, and we got them all. Which, by the way, this is Jack Frost's raid.
Sorry, I broke my camera by doing things in the wrong order, apparently. Alright, we're going to try to... Nope, we're not. Alright, we are going to manually get ourselves out of here.
We're ripcord.
Yeah, our animator worked on animations for this for the better part of the year. He did other things in between, like he worked on crypto, but he would always go back to, every time we would have our monthly planning meetings, he'd be like, and I'm doing Sea Beast.
Yep, and Sea Beast. Yeah, because, it's not like we just make a model and it suddenly moves around and does all sorts of things. Yeah. It's if it's not a human, it pretty much needs an incomplete custom skeleton, and every one of those animations you saw, he had to make.
Yeah, he had to hand move and jiggle that tongue.
What a visual! Thank you for
You
that.
did indeed. Yes.
That did. That was not something I asked for, but I don't regret it at all. I was like, "Oh, that's sick! I love it."
Yeah. No, our team really came through character, and our character lead and our animator really knocked it out of the park. And then the gameplay is just phenomenal inside there.
Yeah, and they were working side by side with Jack Frost delivering. Like, he'd have these ideas of, well, I want the monster to do these things, you know, and they'd work together to make it happen.
90% work possible, but
But the 10% we did are amazing.
Yeah, it was really just everybody working together to just make sure that it could work. So
Yeah,
Awesome.
I have one mechanic I really wanted, but should I say what it is?
No.
They can't see. Okay,
No.
all right. Dang it!
don't tease people. That's mean.
That's not teasing. Telling them exactly what it is. It's
Am I-
really awesome though.
All right,
Am I out now?
we're gonna kick Ben out. Thank you for
All right.
joining us, Ben.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
it's always a pleasure.
Exilla is like, I don't know if I should open this door.
I'll see you in about 5 to 8 years again.
All right, it's Megzilla time.
It's pre-warmed for you.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice in this. Where should we go?
They said,
Oh, my
"Aw,
base.
bye, Ben. Thanks for attending." Oh, it's such proper.
Well, let me turn your mic on. That'll help.
Oh,
There we go.
There she is.
hello.
Hello. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
Megzilla, our 2D artist. You got some concepts to show us today?
Yes.
We are almost. Actually, we can just start
Straight
doing
and to the point.
So,
Yeah, it's true.
we have some character reference, and I did not punk her. These are just actual references.
I am prepared for this.
So obviously, we took inspiration from Corm Wrath, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And,
straight out of the comics.
Right out of the comics. This is the current, or actually previous arc, right?
Yeah, but
Whatever.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yep.
Um,
Well, I was gonna say
This
is
is
you,
modern.
you see that picture of him in the like cape stuff, and that's one of those things that you and Jayhawk pretty much have to look at these crazy capes in the comics and go, well, how the hell are we gonna put this in our game?
Yes, but I don't know if she has a handle yet. This was a different character artist.
oh,
I don't think she does.
I don't think she does.
Are we allowed to say it? I don't know.
Oh my God, did you hear that?
That's not. That's not. I'm gonna go outside.
That's a good idea. Anyway,
Yeah, so one of the
yeah,
things
so-
we worked on was trying to translate this cape into our gear system. And I think
spoiler.
they did. Oh, shoot.
No, that's
You're good.
okay.
You're good.
Surprise. But I think we got really close, if not spot on.
It's pretty wicked, and they're about to see.
And obviously, we took inspiration from Rebirth Aqualad. We kind of talked about that earlier. And obviously, you know.
Sorry, I just read something in chat that made me.
Oh.
Benedict Cormrath.
Oh my gosh, I love it. It's amazing.
Sorry,
alright.
derailed totally.
Okay, so this is what you guys actually did. So talk us through the process. Maybe some people missed the last special live stream.
Oh, right.
So
Okay, so as you guys can see, this is Aqualad concept. This one is actually for our NPC, so it's a little bit different than setting it up for player gear. But here you can just see the front and back view, which is important for our modelers, and another variation with his tattoos lit up. And as you can kind of see, there's some pictures to try to get a material reference, so left that in there so you guys can see some behind the scenes. But this is what a typical NPC concept will look like. Not as detailed as like player gear.
Yeah, and that's pretty much industry standard to do those like call outs of the materials, because it's just, you know, 'cause some people are like, I think that kind of looks like plastic. No, that's rubber. And then you're like, no, it's this. Just look at this picture and make that, please.
I'll say that's easily one of the most difficult things for concept is try to comic book material is.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it's suit stuff.
You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, lycra, but not spandex. It's so confused.
I end up with a lot of neoprene, but not as thick. That's usually what I tell the character artist, and they're like, okay.
You're like, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's like, oh, all right. Can't just make up stuff, but
All right.
they do a good job.
We also have. Okay, this is spoiler time.
Oh, Oh, okay. So, this is for the player gear.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll go through what it's for when we get to the actual stuff.
Okay. I don't want to keep spoiling. Gear. Yes. So, in addition to Aqualad's shirt and pants, we came up with some the rest of his gear. Let's see. For the inspiration for his gloves, kind of liked the idea of like an assassin kind of look. So now you can have a hidden blade on your arms, which is pretty cool.
Just like dear old dad.
Yeah, which is kind of what we were looking at for his helmet. If his dad hasn't been spoiled already, it's kind of a combo between what's the other half of his race besides human?
Zebel.
Yes, so they have a certain look about their helmets in the comics, which I didn't find a picture for, so sorry. So we kind of combined that with Dad's helmet to try to...
It's Manta, y'all. It's okay.
We're trying
She's
to keep
like
the
suffering
secret.
over here.
So we try to like combine that for Aqualad, since that kind of describes his background.
Yeah.
And then here's a female version.
Gotta translate it.
Because it's a gear suit that we need all 8 pieces because we wear 8 pieces of gear and it's actual equipment. So it was important that you guys get that's one of the fun things I think when we're like, here's like a bodysuit, can you make 8 pieces out of it? You're like, yay!
Yeah. And the back piece I believe is his backpack. It's not on this one because we could just pull it from the NPC concept.
Right. Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah.
Who are these guys?
So we kind of saw these at the beginning of the stream when we were walking through the open world. So these are the Wrath guards, or just the guards around the palace. This is the female version. They got some cool helmets and shoulder pads and a back piece.
Yeah, that was one of the things when we came to Atlantis. We really wanted new, refreshed Atlanteans and Rats guards and the Silent School and the people floating around the city because, it's not, it's one of those things we wanted to hit because I don't think I wanted to see the launch Atlanteans swimming around this beautiful environment.
Yeah, like everything else is like new and pretty, so might as well have some new and pretty models. And here's the dude version. The dude.
I like his jetpack thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Definitely.
Water pack? Probably has a word. Hydro pack.
And this is the Cormrath. What is this actually NPC or is this gear?
Well, I already kind of pre-spoiled it. It's both.
It's both. Okay.
So this was me trying to help out our character artist in building the comic version into our gear system / something we can actually make. But she further fixed like the shoulder pieces so it works even better. So this was kind of just breaking things down.
Cool. Okay, let's take a look at what this
looks like in the game.
Yeah, let me get to a place with light. There we go. Okay. And here
you look so tiny.
I do look so tiny.
You're so tiny.
Far away.
So far away.
This is mostly the drowned pirate gear from Cursed Gotham Time Capsule and a special helmet.
And a helmet.
But let's show you the Aqualad gear first.
Yes.
Rah.
We were talking about the texture of the materials and everything, and they are superb. I'm a big fan of slim lines and typical like tactical superhero tight stuff, and this one is excellent.
It's about time I got a new slim line.
Yeah. It's just got gorgeous textures on it.
I actually love the boots. The little
fin.
Little fin.
I also like the toe. The little toe guard. I don't know. It's kind of like a cutout. But I'm a big fan of this one.
We got the necklace and the belt, which is pretty iconic there.
I think someone said it was a Texas-sized Aqualad belt buckle.
That's hilarious.
Well, what do you expect?
Yeah, right? And what's cool is that you can have the fins on both just the regular pants, and they're also part of the boots.
Oh, nice. That is cool.
And can you pop the boots off?
I sure can.
Just so we can show what she's talking about. Because it's something after launch I started pushing for is making sure the pants kind of have like a boot built into them or a sock or something really
Right, so
interesting.
you don't have to wear the
yeah,
boots.
so if you like a slim, less chunky look, we'll say, on your ankles. God, that looks good. But it also means you can carry over some of those elements into other suits if you're like, I just want boots with fins. You know, well, okay, you can
now
have
you
that.
can.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, let's do enhanced.
Yes.
Enhanced.
Shiny.
Kept the same colors to really show the difference.
It's got
things
like
shine.
That's awesome.
I get to use my favorite word.
What word is that?
What is it? What's our word of the day?
It's
Are
the
we
same
learning
word as the
something?
last day, caustics.
Oh, are there
It's very
caustics?
similar. It's very similar. It kind of has that water,
Oh,
like
you're right.
the energy moving through it.
The energy is in the caustic pattern, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Because he's an Atlantis. Well, he's a Zebullian.
Because he's
Zebul
underwater.
person.
Oh wait, no, he's not.
Well, now he is all the time.
Takes it with him everywhere he goes. It makes it feel like he's home. Not really his home though. It is now.
So let me go back real quick. This is the gear. The non-enhanced version is the gear you get from the event dropping, and the enhanced version is what you'll get from the owner rewards chest at the end of events and stuff. So
The shiny version.
this is
Those gloves are sweet for martial arts.
they really are.
And
Yeah,
brawling.
that would hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a good call. All right.
What's next?
Next
show
is the vendor rewards from regular content
The top
and game
tier.
content, I should say.
Oh my god. Look at it. The suit is so awesome.
It is, and I just love the shine. It's just so shiny.
It's one of those times when we get to go, I want to wear that, and we get to wear
Yeah.
that.
Did it.
We get to.
Even the helmet.
Yeah,
which
I
is just
love
fantastic.
that helmet.
Dangerous for others, but fantastic.
Yeah, we have a dev. I'll let him reveal himself if he wants, but we have a dev whose character is water powers, and he's like an Atlantean and all that as the character he plays, and he's a little excited about this episode and all of the wonderful things in it for his dude. I love the fringe.
Yeah, let me move a little bit.
Yeah, his design is actually one of my favorites, both in the comics and what we've done in game in the last couple of years. So I'm super happy that we got to do something so great. The chest is awesome. It goes
Yeah.
It's so good with a bunch of the other like Mara and Atlantean styles that we have.
Yeah. So that's the vendor gear coming together.
What does it look like shiny?
The shiny gear.
Dang it.
What do you say?
Do we have the enhanced version?
Oh, what does it look like shiny? I'm like,
Yeah.
it's already shiny. What are you talking about?
More shiny.
How much
More shiny.
shinier
Okay,
do you want?
there we go. More
the,
shiny.
The elite. Oh man.
Again, same colors.
Now you look. Oh yeah, it's got a gradient.
Yeah, so I'm gonna actually mess with the colors here
Okay.
In a second.
in a moment.
Yes.
But everything's brighter.
Yeah, now you can make Cormrath look like ashamed to not look as good as you.
That's true.
Oh, I have to turn my UI on. That helps. So, just to demonstrate what we're talking about with the gradients, let's see, I think it's this one I can change. See how it bleeds over? Is that,
Oh yeah, boots are a good example.
I think, no, not that.
Yeah, we're trying to look at the chest piece has
So
a
yeah,
gradient.
look at the chest and see how I make this color. It's blending into.
Yeah, it has like a bottom to top fade. The boots have a similar thing. Every piece has something like that happening, whether it's on like the metal or the trim or something like that, which I love, and I want to try to do that more.
Nice.
All right.
That's so cool.
Fades into whatever
Yeah,
you picked for the other
the
one.
chest is epic.
Even if you pick some hideous colors.
Did
Did I ruin it?
It looks like a.
I don't know. I feel like you
Speed
can still make
skating.
it work.
I think it works.
I like it with the purple. It's
Yeah.
pretty.
Anyway,
Very-
that is the regular vendor gear and the elite vendor gear from this DLC. We also have some other things to show you.
Probably not what you're deleting.
I'm just gonna clean up my inventory so it stops annoying me.
Aquatic man.
You like that?
Not really.
Why? It's perfect.
It's like the store brand version.
Right. Oh, I thought it was funny. So anyway, this DLC has like collections and OP items and all the good stuff. So what do you want to start? Maybe with
that
OP
one,
item?
the first one.
Also, check out the icon. Just by the way, awesome.
Who did that?
Thanks.
I like it. So this is. Explain what this is. Who's this?
I think we saw him in the opening cam. He's one of the people who confronted Aquaman. We call him the Faceless One. And he's the enemy in the Silent School. He's like essentially a big sorcerer dude with sorcerer powers.
I just love the completely shiny flat mask.
It's pretty sweet.
It's a good robot helmet. Not that that matters for anybody but me.
I think it's true. You are the only robot-themed character in the game.
Yeah.
Well, now you can be a magic robot.
Magic bot. We were just talking about blending science.
Oh yeah, there we
and
go.
Magic.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It all comes back.
All right, so that's the OP item. We have some. Let me see. Oh, this is still fine.
Oh, we're calling them drift guards. I called them wrath guards, but they're drift guards.
They're drift guards now.
I think we might have.
We
Yeah,
might have both.
we definitely internally use it interchangeably because he takes over the drift. Yes.
So
the helmet.
This is just a cool
pretty
helmet
cool.
and shoulder pads, right? It's not a full thing. It's just, but it obviously works nicely with other gear. Do you want me to change colors? Or do you like these colors?
They're good colors.
I like
Okay,
it.
We'll stay with these colors.
I love that helmet. There's
Back.
definitely a theme. Oh yeah, see, you can see the gradient really good on the wrist thing there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Looks awesome. Also, that material is gorgeous.
Yep. Okay. Now we're going to go to.
Not enough red deal.
I gotta take my helmet off.
We didn't see this guy that is we have like a
We didn't get to him. He's
yeah.
like a boss dude.
Yeah.
I guess I should probably take the cape off too. That's distracting.
Yeah. We have some golems that are being out of the Crown of Thorns, and this is similar to the tree ones, but slightly different materials and effects.
Did y'all see that? Gotta pay attention.
Not enough red. Well, there it was.
All right.
It
here we
heard
go.
you.
The naked version. Oh, still got a belt on. That's fine.
He's not naked.
Now
He's got
it's
a belt
appropriate.
on. He's like Porky Pig in over
I
here.
love it. I love it.
But it's a new variant of these pieces with the Crown of Thorns energy working through it.
Yeah.
Pretty. It's one of the best sculpts in game, I think. And all the the sorcerers in the Silent School kind of like put magic into these pieces, and that's why they animate, move around, and have all the cool like glowy lines and stuff like that.
All right, so that's your collections. We do have a couple of more things to show. But
It also has more tent channels, by the way,
Oh,
than the similar spring one. See,
Oh,
the glowy bits all over.
and if you're really angry,
perfect.
Anyway, let's move on to the next. I just wanted to point
Okay.
that out.
well, I think that's all the DLC rewards we're showing. We will have a lot of base items, tons of base items.
Oh my god.
So many of the things that you saw in the environments are just ripped out and put in your base. And you might have noticed that we have 4 new artifacts coming to the game with Atlantis that you get in missions. But if you want to learn more about those, you have to turn into a new live stream next week, and we invite you to do so.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome.
They're good. That's what I mean. There's so much going on with them that we are so tired and can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
And they won't be on PC test tomorrow, because you won't have them like we need to do. We always release the content first and let you guys play it like you would on day one, and then we'll release them later so you guys can test the artifacts.
So there you go. That is Atlantis. It is coming to the test server tomorrow. Yes. Live November 8th. So that's coming up pretty soon. Please help us test it and please help us play it when we get it on live. If you have any questions we didn't answer in the stream, please hit us up on the forums afterwards. We'll have a little bit more info from Nerd of Prey coming out and some screenshots and that kind of thing. Remember, after this live stream is over, there's a post-credit scene. So stick around for that. Thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for hosting it.
So polite. I'm just like, meh.